The combine ended yesterday, and we wrapped it up with the offensive linemen and the running backs. We'll be going over the risers and fallers in today's video. But what's crackalackin'? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know. So go ahead, become a bro and subscribe. Leave this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the content as always. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have that nice, beautiful football discourse real quick. Tomorrow you're going to be getting a video to kind of like sum up the combine with my biggest risers and fallers from each position, and I kind of go in depth on those guys, opposed to this where I kind of like touch up on everybody's workouts and my general opinions and thoughts on those guys. But shoot, man, let's first and foremost talk about the two guys that went down to injury today, and Andrew Voorhees and Wanya Morris, because if you're familiar with the channel, you'll know both those guys are my guys. Like, I absolutely loved Voorhees coming into the season. I loved him last year when I thought he was coming out, and Wanya Morris was a guy that I kind of pumped up before the Senior Bowl, and then he had a very good Senior Bowl week. So yeah, it kind of sucks. Let's talk about, fortunately for Wanya Morris, it sounds like he just pulled his hammy during the 40. And he's looking to perform the rest of his workouts at his pro day at the end of the month. However, Voorhees sounds like it's a more significant injury. People noted hearing a pop on the broadcast or on the field. So this is something that could actually substantially shift his stock from a day two guy to maybe an early day three player, unfortunately, and that really sucks because I really do love Voorhees. I think he's a plug and play immediate starter, but we might not see him at least in the first half or maybe even all of his rookie year, unfortunately. So let's go ahead, talk about those guys, get into this, and I'm gonna first touch up on offensive tackle prospects. Broderick Jones had a phenomenal day at the office, phenomenal workouts. He had the fastest 40. He had he came in with almost 35-inch arms. He just looks the part. Huge hands, over 10.5-inch hands. The thing with him is going to be his pass protection, but because he's a bit unpolished in that regard. But his movement skills look good. I thought he kind of like, yeah, this is the cat you probably take maybe in the top 20, or could end up even slipping out of the top 20 depending on how the draft goes, but I expect him to be a top 20 player. And then we got Anton Harrison at 4.98 40. Love to see it. His explosive scores weren't all that great, and there was like bunk reported that I think they were pulling from a website that accidentally put out or mistyped his arm length because they had it as like 32 inches or something. But it's official. They're 34-inch arms. I was like, arm length wasn't a problem. What do you mean 32-inch arms? Hold up. And I was like, yeah, that's definitely a typo. So 34.1/8-inch arms. You love to see it. I think he's another guy that's going to be this like fringe first, early second round player. Some of the other guys we'll talk about on here are Darnell Wright. As first off, dude, he was down to 333, which he went to the Senior Bowl at 343, but ran a freaking 5.01. Solid, had a good broad as well, which he was in the higher percentile in terms of the broad with 9 foot 6 inches. It's great, man. He's another one of these guys that are going to be fringe first round. Like, honestly, there weren't like, I would say, huge takeaways. Like, Blake Freeland had a hell of a workout, and it really sucks that his Senior Bowl was such pee poo poo. Like, that whole week was just not great for him, because this testing was great. Like, we could still maybe talk about him at the back end of day 2, but I think early day 3 might be a bit more likely for him. But the 10-inch or 10-foot broad, he had 37 in the vert. He had sub 5-second 40. Came in with almost 34-inch arms. It's like, you love to see it, but man, like I'm curious what his we'll get the bench numbers well, today you're viewing this, so we should get the bench numbers today. But yeah, we'll find out if he even takes part in that. DeJuan Jones, we already know this dude's a freak. 36-inch arms, 36-inch plus, 87, almost 88-inch wingspan, kind of nuts. He actually ran pretty well for 374 pounds. He ran a, what is it, a 5.35 40, right? Let me just look it up real quick. Here we go. Yeah, which was as good as John Michael Schmidt's. But right now we're only going over tackles. So it's like, I don't think anyone did any harm to their stock. Peter Skoronski had a solid day. His vert numbers were great. We expected the sub 33-inch arms. Came in 33 and a quarter or 32 and a quarter inch arms. So that was that sucked, but it was expected. He came in with a good wingspan though. It's not in like the negative percentile, so solid. If we're talking about guys that maybe like hurt their stock, because actually not a lot of the offensive tackles did test today. Like Mark Evans out of Arkansas Pine Bluff. You're not looking at this cat as a tackle. First off, 6'3", 303, which is fine. The sub 33-inch arms, and his explosive times, his 40 were all just minus for the position. There were a couple of guys that I've had listed here at tackle, probably going to end up moving to the interior, like TJ Bass. He was listed as a guard at the combine anyway, but yeah, he's probably going to get moved in to the interior. I have him listed as a tackle. We got Connor Galvin out of Baylor. But he's like a taller guy. That's the thing, man. He had 32.5-inch arms, ran slow, didn't show explosiveness, didn't test out in the 3-cone. I don't think any of the offensive linemen tested out in the 3-cone. Yeah, I don't have any of them. Let me actually just go confirm this real quick. Oh, no, they do have 3 cones out. Oh, they were just late to it. How'd the running back 3 cones and short shuttles come out before the offensive lineman? Well, this sucks. I don't really have nothing to say about these just yet. I gotta input these. Kind of is what it is. I'm gonna look for like numbers that might shock me. Yeah, I'm not blown away that Freeland was good, Mock was good. Let's check out the shuttle. That pisses me off. This is a cat to watch out. I don't know how to say his last name out of Boise State. Ojokwu. He's a late round guy to watch out for. Luke Whippler. I don't want to get to offensive interior yet. Hold on. Okay, so let's wrap up the tackles here real quick. I want to mention Tyler Steen. I think at Alabama, I think he's got good flexibility at guard. He did come in with sub 33-inch arms, but it was like 32 and 3/4, so it's not like the end all be all. Yeah, I mean there was some sub testing, but like. Yeah, like for the most part, that I think the tackles were fine. Let's jump to the offensive interior, where again, I don't think much changed. Like I think John Gaines is a guy I'm gonna want to have to go and look back at a UCLA. Played guard there, across from Anton Mafi, who I really like. So I'm actually really eager to look at Gaines. He tested exceptionally well. I mean, okay, look at the shuttle. He's already, and I didn't even list this out. He tested first in both the shuttle and the 3-cone. But we could go to this, and he had the best broad of all the interior prospects. You go to the vert. He had the best vert of all the interior prospects. Again, depending on how you view Skoronski. Ricky Schomburg actually looked good too. Actually, there's actually Sid Sau out of Eastern Michigan. I know he got drafted by the USFL, but I think this dude's going like potentially like mid day 3. I really like what he came in and he looked good. Also, he was at the NFLPA Bowl, and I thought he looked exceptionally good there too. So Sal's definitely a guy I came out of this. Sal and Gaines were guys I was like, oh, these are guys that are going to move up. Let's see. Braden Daniels, he came in sub 300, but his testing times were really, really good. We know he's got flexibility to play really any spot on the offensive line. So it's like looking around again, there weren't like, I think any like, oh, these are awful, terrible workouts on the interior. For the most part, I thought everyone kind of checked a lot of boxes. There's not going to be a lot of movement. I think Voorhees, obviously, he'll be moved because of the injury. But I expect to see Gaines pick up some ground and Sal as well. But I know what y'all are really here for. Y'all want to look at the running backs. Well, fortunately enough, I know only 2 running backs did both the short shuttle and the 3-cone, being these 2 individuals right here, Evan Hall and Saradarick Thompson Jr. He was also not a late addition. He was added to the Senior Bowl after Roschon Johnson broke a bone in his hand on the first day of practice. He was the guy that came in and kind of filled his spot. He was also not at the Shrine. It was the NFLPA, right? The NFLPA Bowl. His numbers weren't great. He looks like a UDFA. He's a bigger, kind of a bigger back, but his agility drills, his speed, they're all pretty subpar. Evan Hall, fun fact, man, this guy, anytime he touched the ball, he was running to the end zone, like on everything. But there weren't any big down performances. Like if you're gonna look at like the 40, I bet you like your first indication is gonna be like, oh, Tavion Thompson, dude, 4.74, man, that's awful. But you also gotta consider this guy's 237 pounds, so it's like he's a power back. Like, yeah, he's like late day 3, excuse me, but like for all intents and purposes, like, you know what he is. Honestly, Kenny McIntosh broke my heart because I thought this guy was explosive. I thought he had good top end speed, and he tested so much slower than I anticipated at 4.62, and then he didn't even do the vert or the broad. So it's like, that breaks my heart. If you're not new to the channel, you know I absolutely love Kenny McIntosh. Might be enough in a running back class this good probably to get him out of day 2, but he's still early day 3 to me. Keontae Mitchell, we knew he was going to test out fast and explosive, and he did. Chase Brown had really good numbers. I really want to see the agility drill numbers though for him, because that's kind of my question with him. How dynamic of a back is he? Because I don't think the change of direction is all that great, but he's also a guy that's going to be an early day 3 pick in my opinion. I know some people like him on day 2. I just simply think there's better backs. But if you look at the top, like straight up, Bijan came in so much faster than what people anticipated. This 4.46 number is really good for him. And then Zach Charbonnet coming in at 2.14. This 4.53 number is great for him. Really is. Tested out really well in the vert and the broad. Jahmyr Gibbs, I'm not surprised that he's 5'9", but I thought it would be more 5'10", but it kind of is what it is. He tested fast. That's great. Devon Achane tested fast. He was the fastest guy among this group at 4.32. Tajay Spears did take part in only the explosive drills, so vert and broad, where he was phenomenal. 39-inch. We know this dude's explosive. 39-inch vert. And then he was third in the broad with 10 feet 5 inches. I'm really curious to see what that 40 time will be for him. I guess it's important to note Devon Achane came in 3 pounds heavier, so 188. Still smaller guy, but is what it is. I was shocked that Sean Tucker came in almost the same size as Tajay Spears. Tajay Spears, he came in measuring 5'9" at the Senior Bowl. He's 5'11" here at the Combine. Like, what the heck is that? But Sean Tucker, I expected to be much bigger than a Tajay Spears. Both have very similar games, though. So, testing's going to be big for Tucker. He did not test out today. Let's see who else we got here. I mean, we could talk about Deuce Vaughn. Like, we knew he was small, but he was the shortest person to ever be measured out at the Combine at 5'5", 179. And to be fair, that 179, that 180 is really good for his height. It's just, man, like, that's really small. Really, really small. But for the most part, like, again, not a lot. Like, only 2 guys did the agility drills. Not a lot of guys ran their 40s here. And if they ran their 40s, like, typically they did the explosive drills. But yeah, not a lot of guys. A lot of guys took part in the field workouts, which was fine. I thought Tajay Spears looked really good in the field drills. Really did. Even one where he tripped over a bag, man. He still exploded after stumbling. A lot of people mentioned Bijan stumbled on his first 40, yet did not stumble on his second and had a slight worse time. So, like, the dude is a 4.6 guy. It's fine. And I'm just gonna go out and say this: Bijan, I think, is a better running back prospect than Saquon Barkley. Barkley was just not, like, Barkley's the better athlete, but he wasn't nearly as complete as a prospect as Bijan. And I'm willing to say that. I'm just going to call it. Got to call it how I see it. But, yeah, this video is not going to go too long because, again, I feel like the offensive line was where more stuff was talked about, and to be fair, like, a lot of the guys just checked the boxes. Like, there were performances that I was like guys that I maybe, like, have only looked a little bit at, or in the case of John Gaines, haven't looked at yet. And I'm like, yo, I'm going to look at your tape now. That is an impressive performance. But at the end of the day, a lot of guys just checked boxes. There weren't bad performances today, in my opinion. And obviously, the injuries kind of want to be the first thing I talked about out of the gates here. But tomorrow, best Combine performers this year by position. That is the video. You'll get a new mock draft tomorrow as well. But as always, until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.